Have you ever found yourself scrolling through your phone late at night, looking at pictures of someone's seemingly perfect life? You see the beautiful vacation, the amazing new job, the happy relationship, and a little voice inside you asks, "Why isn't my life like that?" We've all been there. We see a highlight reel of someone else's journey and immediately start to question our own. We start to believe that happiness is a destination we must arrive at, a checklist we must complete. But what if this vision of the perfect life we are chasing isn't even our own? What if it's a script written by society, by family, by the endless stream of content we consume every single day? This constant pursuit can leave us feeling exhausted, unfulfilled, and completely disconnected from who we truly are. We are told to climb the corporate ladder, buy the big house, and maintain a flawless public image. It's a blueprint that is handed to us from a very young age. Think of it like trying to wear shoes that are 2 sizes too small. Recognizing that you might be caught in this trap is the first and most courageous step toward freedom. In today's world, our phones have become windows into millions of other lives. With just a few taps, we can see what people are eating, where they are traveling, how they are celebrating their wins. Social media connects us in ways we never thought possible, but it also creates what I call a digital mirage. What we see online is rarely the full picture. It is a carefully curated gallery of perfect moments, a highlight reel that has been edited, filtered, polished for public consumption. We don't see the messy moments, the struggles, the doubts, or the failures that happen behind the scenes. We only see the beautiful finished product, and we mistakenly believe that this is reality. This constant exposure to idealized versions of life has a profound effect on our own desires. We see an influencer on a pristine beach in Bali, and suddenly our own weekend plans feel dull and inadequate. We see a friend announce a major promotion, and we start to question our own career progress. Our desires are no longer coming from within. They are being shaped and influenced by the algorithm. Think of your mind as a garden. If you constantly plant seeds of comparison, envy, inadequacy, that is what will grow. You will cultivate a garden of discontent. But if you become intentional about what you allow in, you can cultivate a garden of peace, gratitude, and self-acceptance. The relentless pursuit of a perfect life comes with a significant and often hidden cost. On the surface, it looks like ambition and drive. We call it the hustle. We wear our busyness as a badge of honor. We work long hours, sacrifice our sleep, push our bodies and minds to the limit, all in the name of achieving an idealized version of success. The hustle for perfection doesn't just make us tired. It slowly chips away at our well-being, our relationships, our very sense of self. One of the biggest hidden costs is the toll it takes on our mental and emotional health. It's like running a marathon every single day without ever allowing yourself to rest or recover. Eventually, your body and mind will signal that they cannot take it anymore. This constant chase also damages our relationships with the people who matter most. When our primary focus is on achieving the next goal, we often neglect the present moment and the people in it. Perfectionism tells us that we can only be happy when we get the promotion, when we buy the house, when we lose the weight. This mindset prevents us from appreciating the journey. It stops us from celebrating small wins and finding beauty in the imperfections of our daily lives. True, sustainable joy doesn't come from achieving a flawless outcome. It comes from living in alignment with our values, from being present in our own lives, and from embracing the messy, beautiful, and imperfect reality of being human. The cost of the hustle is far too high. It's time to choose a different way. If chasing external ideals leads us astray, then what is the alternative? The answer lies in turning your attention inward. It's about discovering your own internal guidance system, your personal North Star. This North Star is made up of your core values. Your values are the fundamental beliefs that dictate what is most important to you. They are the principles you want to live by and the qualities you want to embody. When you're clear on your values, they act as a compass. They help you navigate decisions and ensure your life reflects who you are. Living aligned with your values is the definition of a purposeful life. So, how do you figure out your core values? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It begins with quiet reflection. Try this simple exercise. Find a quiet space for 15 minutes. Close your eyes and think of a time you felt truly happy. Think of a time you felt truly proud. Think of a time you felt truly fulfilled. It could be a big moment or a small one, completing a challenging project, helping a friend in need, spending a quiet afternoon in nature. Relive that moment. What were you doing? Who were you with? What about that experience made you feel so good? Those feelings are clues to your values. Look for recurring themes. You can also consult lists of core values online: creativity, honesty, community, security, impact. Once you have a list, prioritize. You can't live by 50 values at once. Identify your top 3 to 5 core values, your non-negotiables. Write your top values down and place them somewhere you see daily: on your bathroom mirror, as your phone wallpaper, on a note at your desk. Keeping them visible is a constant reminder of your personal North Star and helps you stay true to your path. Once you have identified your core values, you have the what matters most to you. The next step is to cultivate the how you make choices that honor those values. This is where intuition comes in. Intuition is that deep inner knowing, that gut feeling that gently nudges you in a certain direction. It's not loud or demanding like your ego or your inner critic. It's a quiet whisper of wisdom that comes from a place beyond logic and reason. Strengthening your intuition is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One effective way to start is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply the act of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It can be practiced anywhere. When you are washing the dishes, just wash the dishes. Feel the warm water on your hands. Smell the soap. When you are walking, feel your feet on the ground. Hear the sounds around you. By practicing mindfulness, you quiet the mental chatter and create space for your intuition to be heard. You begin to notice the subtle signals your body is sending you, a feeling of lightness and expansion when something is right for you, or a feeling of tightness and contraction when it is not. Another key part of strengthening your intuition is building self-trust. Start with low-stakes decisions. For example, when deciding what to eat for lunch, pause and ask your body what it truly wants. When you check in and honor these small intuitive hits, you send a message to yourself that your inner voice is trustworthy. Over time, this practice builds a powerful feedback loop. You listen to your intuition, you take action, and you see the positive results. This builds confidence and makes it easier to trust your gut on bigger life decisions, like whether to take a new job, move to a new city, or enter into a new relationship. Your intuition, guided by your core values, becomes your most reliable advisor. It's not about abandoning logic or reason, it's about integrating them. Use your mind to gather the facts, but use your intuition to make the final choice. It is the compass that will always point you toward your most authentic and purposeful path. Having a set of values and a connection to your intuition is wonderful, but how do you apply them in the real world, especially when faced with difficult choices? You need a simple, practical framework that you can use every day. I call this the Values Intuition Action Framework. Values, intuition, action. The first step, pause and identify the value. When faced with a decision, take a moment to breathe. Ask, which core value applies here? Example, you're offered a new job with a higher salary, but it requires much longer hours. Value, family. Value, well-being. The high salary might appeal to ego or societal expectations, but long hours conflict with your identified value. This brings clarity and grounds your decisions. Second step, listen to your intuition. Tune into your body and gut feeling. Close your eyes and imagine saying yes. How does it feel? Excitement, expansion, peace, or dread, tightness, a sinking feeling. Intuition communicates through these cues. Trust these signals. They guide you toward choices aligned with your authentic self. Final step, take aligned action. Use clarity from values and intuition to make a conscious choice. Move from reflection to reality. Aligned action honors values and intuition even when harder. Example action. Turn down the high-paying job to protect family and well-being. It may seem illogical to others, but it's self-respect and integrity. Use this framework consistently, and you build a life that expresses your purpose. The journey toward an authentic, value-driven life is not just a theory. It is a path that countless people walk every day, finding deep fulfillment in the process. These are not stories of overnight success or fairy tale endings. They are real, often quiet, stories of people making courageous choices to align their lives with their inner truth. Consider the story of a lawyer I once knew. He had a prestigious job at a top firm. He had a beautiful apartment. He had all the external markers of success. Yet he felt empty and drained every single day. His core values were creativity and impact. After months of reflection, he used the Values Intuition Action Framework. Values screamed for change. Intuition felt heavy in the office. Action. He left and became a high school pottery teacher. He earned far less money, but he was infinitely richer in joy, purpose, and peace. Think also of a young woman who was a successful social media influencer. On the outside, her life looked glamorous, but inside she was struggling with anxiety and an eating disorder. Her core values were honesty and well-being. Her intuition told her the path was unsustainable. She started sharing her real struggles, lost some followers, but gained a community that connected with her authenticity. She found her purpose not in pretending to be perfect, but in being vulnerably and powerfully real. Living authentically often means choosing the path less traveled. It might mean disappointing others or letting go of what society applauds. But the reward is immeasurable. It is the deep sense of rightness that comes from living in integrity with yourself. It is the freedom from the constant pressure to perform. One of the greatest obstacles to living an authentic life is the human tendency to compare ourselves to others. This is not a new problem, but it has been amplified 1,000 times over by our hyper-connected world. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it is also the enemy of purpose. When we are constantly looking at what others have, what they are doing, and how we measure up, we are living in a state of lack. To break free, shift focus from outward to inward. When you feel the urge to compare, use it as a trigger to practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you're genuinely grateful for: the taste of your morning coffee, a kind word from a friend, the feeling of the sun on your skin. Another technique: actively celebrate others' success. When someone achieves something amazing, train yourself to feel genuine happiness for them. This is an abundance mindset. There's enough success and happiness to go around. You break the chains of comparison and free energy to focus on what matters, walking your own path with integrity, purpose, and joy. The idea of transforming your life and living with purpose can feel overwhelming. A life of purpose is not built overnight. It is built day by day, choice by choice, one small step at a time. For example, if one of your values is health, drink a glass of water first thing in the morning instead of reaching for your phone. If your value is connection, call a friend for a 5-minute chat instead of sending a text. These actions might seem insignificant on their own, but they are powerful. They are votes for the person you want to become. Each small, aligned action builds momentum and creates a positive ripple effect in your life. The second key is consistency. Commit to your small, aligned practice every single day. Some days you will fall back into old patterns. That is okay. The goal is not perfection, it is progress. When you fall off track, don't judge yourself. Simply notice it, be compassionate, and gently guide yourself back the next day. Consistency builds new habits, builds self-trust, builds resilience. Finally, and most importantly, learn to trust your own journey. Your path will not look like anyone else's, and that is its beauty. Keep listening to the whispers of your inner wisdom. Keep checking in with your values. Keep taking those small, courageous steps. This is how you stop chasing perfection and start building a life of authentic, deep, and lasting purpose. Your journey starts now.